Hey guys, Lizardlea here I actually didn't look at what I was going to be doing today. What am I doing? I am having a morning, you guys. Oh, that's what it is. Yes, okay. Yeah, I'm doing, I don't know what to call this, Santa Moon? That guy? Like that's Santa Moon, right? Moon Santa? Ooh. I think I'll go with Moon Santa, because if I say Santa Moon, someone might think he's pulling his pants down and mooning you, and I'm not here for that. Moon Santa. Still weird. Crescent Moon Santa? Too long. I'm really tired, so I may not get a ton today. It is Thanksgiving. I don't know. It's gonna be a long time before this video comes out. Like, I've been doing a couple cross stitches a day, and then sometimes I worked on one yesterday, which was Wednesday. I worked yesterday. I did two on Sunday. I did two on Saturday, I think. So I've been getting a lot of cross stitching done. So although I think I will have these done in time for Christmas, they may not all be available before Christmas. Like, right now is Thanksgiving, and I have so many videos to still post. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm gonna go see if I can cross stitch. I believe in me. Not really. It's okay. Alrighty, so this video was filmed on Thanksgiving Day. My backlog is so long, you guys. I have so many cross stitch videos. It's good. It's good. I'm going to continue with the trivia, or not the trivia. I keep saying trivia, and it's not freaking trivia. It's just questions that I'm answering because I have nothing else to do because I don't have a life. I'm sorry. All right, so I did 98 before. 99. If you could replace war with something to settle countries' differences, what would it be? A food fight. I don't know. Although I've never participated in a food fight, and I'm like morally against that. Like, why are you wasting food? That's disgusting. No. Like, I don't wear, like, expensive clothing, but I don't want your nasty food in my clothing. Especially if I'm going to be, like, because I'm assuming most food fights happen at school. And you still have at least 2 classes after that, if not more. And I'm not here for that crap. I'm not. But I would pick a food fight over a war. Any day of the week. I'm not good at this.
Nailed it, babe.
What?
Nailed it.
Yep. David is still half asleep, so he only has small comments to make.
Yep.
Don't worry, I'm judging him for you.
I will do my best to contribute.
What would you replace war with, honey?
A t-shirt contest? I don't know.
So this is something for the guys, I see. Although, actually, like, I think it'd be hot for a guy to be in a t-shirt contest, a wet t-shirt contest. Okay, well, no, then you're just excluding the asexuals. How's that? But you know what? They're not the ones starting the war. I can almost guarantee it.
You know, I feel like that's probably a win.
Okay, anyone who has sat through more than a couple interviews know the interview questions are not just boring, they're rarely useful. Oh, okay, it's 11 interesting interview questions. It's the same questions with the same dull answers that everyone is just trying to get through.
So here they are.
Throw a curveball into your next interview by asking some of these interesting interview questions. Whether you end up making the hire or not, you'll have a far better conversation while you decide. Okay, wait, am I the one being interviewed or am I the interviewee? Because, like, I feel like when you're being interviewed, you need to ask questions that are relevant to the job, not just something that's interesting about your boss. I say this as someone who was the hiring manager for a little while. Like, if you ask me something that is not related to the work, I'm going to be like, what the heck is wrong with you? Are you on drugs? Unless, if I start, like, joking around first, then you can joke around back. But when the other person started it first, I was like, really? You're not taking this seriously? What the heck? I was really nice, all right? Like, the only person I straight up was like, absolutely not, was a kid. I was like, tell me about your favorite boss and, what made them your favorite boss. And I would like to point out, you guys, this guy gave me his resume. I knew he had at least 2 jobs prior to this interview, all right? So he has had at least 2 bosses. And he was like, I think that's more of an idea. It's a concept. I just sat there and stared at him. I was waiting for him to elaborate. Because, like, literally anything would have been better than that. Like, I can't really decide on one of my previous bosses if they were my favorite. But when I think of a boss that I'd be really happy with, these are the qualities they would have. Like, something, anything over, it's an idea, it's a concept. Alright, so that was just a hard no for me. Otherwise it was fine. And I was generally pretty nice. Anyways. 100. Have you ever had a dream so vivid you thought it was really true? Excuse me. Do not ever ask this question at an interview. Don't ever do that. You're just going to creep the people out, whether you're being interviewed or you're interviewing them. Because they're going to be like, do I get to sleep on the job? And you don't want that. That is the interview question? Vivid dreams? I think this place is on crack.
Established dominance? I don't know.
No. Because literally, if someone asked me that, I'd be like, no. And if you fall asleep on the job, I'll fire you. Like, straight up, no. Not okay. But, not really. Like, when I'm dreaming, I will think it's real. But as soon as I wake up, I realize that it was a dream, and I don't think back on it and, like, stress about it, if that makes sense. Like, I've had dreams where someone is, like, really mean to me in the dream, and I don't hold that against the real person because it was a freaking dream. However, I have had the opposite be true, where someone had a dream where I was mean to them and they were angry at me in the real world, and I was just like, dude, it was a dream. That wasn't me. Oh, you were so mean. Okay, well, that's clearly the idea you have of me in your head. What the heck is wrong with you? I would never say something like that to you.
You might.
Okay, wait. What dream have you had of me where you woke up and you were angry with me because I was mean to you?
I've never had a dream where I woke up and was angry with you.
So then what are you talking about?
I don't know. I'm trying to contribute. Am I doing good?
No, honey. you should just go back to sleep. It's okay.
But I'm awake.
Are you though?
Yeah.
Are you though?
Apparently, this is what we're doing.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm making sausages.
Again, okay.
Yeah, because you've got a lot of sausages.
I didn't buy them, so
I know, I did.
it's your own fault if you bought too many, honey.
They're good though.
I bought a lot of pizza Lunchables. I am back on my diet, and I'm trying to, like, really take it seriously because Thanksgiving, Christmas time, it's like yummy desserts, and people bring you yummy desserts, and so you eat yummy desserts.
Yum, yum.
And the pizza Lunchables are just so good, you guys. Okay. Back to the weird questions that you should not ask in an interview at any opportunity whatsoever. Don't do it. 101. Have you ever loved what you were working on so hard you lost track of time? Yeah. I mean, cross-stitching all the time. Video games all the time. Talking to DJ all the time. Heck, talking to Holka. We were talking to Holka the other day about the books, the Dresden Files by Jim Butcher, and, like, how many hours was it? 4 hours went by?
Yeah, 4 hours went by. And it did not feel like 4 hours to me. I'm so sorry, Holka, if it felt like 4 hours to you. But it was so much fun. I loved it. I don't know if I've ever felt that way on the job before. Like, yeah, no. Oh, the question underneath is find out if they have a passion for this job. What am I saying? Find out if they have that passion for this job. Yeah. No. 102. What is a hobby of yours that you believe is beneficial in the workplace? Really? Really? Do not ask people to do stuff for the job that's not related to the job. I mean, I will say I did Michael's Cares when I worked at Michael's. When I was I was the part-time framer at the time. And one of the things I did was I was like, if you donate $5 to Michael's Cares, I will make you a little cross-stitch pin. And if you guys look through my YouTube channel, you will find that. I have the pins. At least I have a playlist. I don't know if I put pin in the title for each of them, but it's in the playlist title. I did those for Michael's Cares. And I think I also baked cookies that year as well. And I was like, if you donate such and such. Oh, no. It was for Michael's Cares, but it wasn't about donating. It was, or was it? Yeah, it was about donating. I think we also did, so if they donated, some money, they could have, 1 to 3 cookies or whatever. And then we also did like a penny wars or something like that. There were 2 bins in the break room, and one was for management and one was for everybody else. And we were just like, any extra change you have, or if you want to put in bills, you can. A penny counts as 1 point, a dollar counts as 100, etc., etc., etc. Whoever has more points in their bin loses. So you want to donate more money than the other team. I believe management won. I could be wrong, though. Okay, and by the time we did that one, I was a manager, so that had to have been the next year. But the cookies and the pins were the same year. And the store manager at the time, Justin, told me that was the highest donation our store had ever had. And it's just because, all the previous ones, it was just like at the register, hey, you guys should donate to Michael's Cares. And like that, no one wants to just give up their money for nothing. I gave up my time in cross-stitching for Michael's Cares. So, I did my thing. And that was beneficial in the workplace for like a week. So, I can't think of any other hobbies I have that would be beneficial in the workplace. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, like, my coding thing kind of worked out, but...
True.
Like,
I feel like that's more than a hobby to you. Like, that's straight up passion.
No, my
which
point
is
is
cross-stitching
like,
for me, so I don't know what I'm talking about.
For example, if I'm interviewing somebody for a tech position, like, depending on the position, obviously, you might just want, like, hey, do you actually know this? But if it's an entry-level thing where I'm basically planning on, like, look, I could take anybody who understands computers and train them. It's like, hey, what are your hobbies? Oh, I play games. Like, okay, that's a start. But, like, hey, have you ever modded a game? Because if you know how to mod a game, and I don't mean make your own, I mean literally just understand the interface of the computer well enough to navigate to the website, click on the link, download the mod, maybe mess with the JSON file. Like, congratulations, you were about where I'm expecting you to need to be, because I need you to go talk to people who treat computers as magic boxes that scream at them, and you're obviously qualified because you're not afraid of it. So if you know how to click on a screen and not get lost, not click on the things that tell you to download stuff that you shouldn't, then you're about what I'm looking for. Again, depending on the position, but...
So yeah, that's a hobby of yours that would be beneficial in the workplace. Yeah. I don't know how to code, so that would not be beneficial for me.
You know how to, navigate a computer. You do. I mean,
okay, yeah.
Videos,
I
think that would definitely be a sign of oh, you actually know what you're doing. And that might be something we can use. Or
See, that depends on the job. Like, I was thinking specifically my previous jobs and my current job. Like,
Yeah, you're
retail,
well,
the
your
only
current
thing
job.
that ever worked for me was my cross-stitching, and I talked about that. And my current job, data clerk, or data entry clerk.
I mean,
I know how to
like,
math.
well, no, I mean,
but I don't know if
you were
that's
like,
a hobby.
I have
That's
a
a
YouTube
skill.
channel. Like, I'd immediately be like, okay, so she's not going to have many problems with the various websites, because, like, a lot of what you do is online.
Yeah.
And I have plenty of coworkers who could not do that, whether or not they have the math skills, because they just don't have the basic tech skills.
Yeah.
Like, well, you have coworkers who are like that.
True.
So,
Everyone does.
yeah.
Okay, 103. What is the first step in taking over the world? I don't think you should ask this in an interview, because you are immediately going to make your interviewer go like, "You want to take my job? Like you're going to try and take my boss's job? Is that what you're implying?" Like I know these are not good interview questions. All right, that last one in certain workplaces I think could be relevant, but what is the first step in taking over the world? Not being Brain or Pinky. Right? Because they never actually took over the world.
They succeeded a few times.
Did they?
Yeah.
Didn't they immediately lose it afterwards?
Not immediately, but pretty close to.
Within an episode, which was like 5 minutes long.
I know there's at least one where he lets Pinky take the reins, and Pinky basically succeeds.
Oh yeah, because Pinky turns out to be like way freaking smarter than he appears.
No, he opens a clam petting zoo, and people are just as dumb as Pinky is.
I swear there was at least one episode where he turned out to be like a freaking mad genius.
Yes, there was also that one, but this is a different one.
Oh, okay, my bad.
But
I
yes.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? Take over the world with cute petting zoos or something? Not with clams, cute animals. Maybe? I don't know. I have no idea, guys. I don't want to take over the world. I don't want to deal with that kind of power. 104. Do you always get things right the first time? No. Sorry, that's just not realistic. And if your interviewer is asking that question with the expectation that you say yes, they are a piece of crap. A lot of people... What?
What was the question?
Do you always get things right the first time?
Oh, yeah, okay.
That's a terrible question to ask. Because it's a loaded question.
It's a trap.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't like trap questions. I think that's really horrible. I think that's terrible. Because if you say... no, they're going to be like, "Oh, well, you can't follow directions? What's so difficult about that?" Well, and then if you say yes, they're going to have that expectation that you will never make a mistake. And I hate it. I don't like that.
I mean, I see it the other way, where, like, if I were ever to... I wouldn't ask that question.
No, I wouldn't either.
I would expect you to say no, and if you say yes, I'm going to be incredibly suspicious. Like...
Well, that's the thing. They're going to have the expectation that you never make a mistake.
No,
and the moment you do, they'll be like, "Oh, you lied in the interview."
No, it's that I look... Like, one of the things I definitely look for is people who can... handle failure. There's a lot of people who are great right up until something goes wrong, and especially in the environments I've usually been in, you cannot plan on anything going right forever. There's just too much going on.
Well, I don't know. Like, I learn from my mistakes. I feel like the times that I remember things the most is when I have messed up. Because then it's like, I screwed that up before. I remember I need to do this instead. So it's like, I think making mistakes is incredibly important.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe that's not true for everybody, but it's true for me.
Yeah, and, like, even if it's not your mistake, like, sometimes things just don't go the way that you thought they would. And so the question is, to me, like...
are you going to be able to learn from that?
Yeah, well, can you actually handle that? I have, again, met many people in certain places and times who are very smart, straight A students at Ivy League schools and whatnot, and yet at the same time, I'm not sure I would trust some of them to handle certain things, because...
They lose their crap as soon as they mess up?
They don't recover well. I'm not saying they completely fall apart, but at the same time, like, they're clearly just not used to dealing with it, because they've always succeeded generally. And it's like, well, yeah, that's great, but we're in an environment where that's literally not possible, because at the last minute, someone will change what they said, even though we all know that's not true, and you're going to be stuck fixing it. And, like, so I need to know that you can handle that, rather than be like, well, I know he didn't say that. Like, yeah, I know, everyone else knows, but that's the reality now, so how are we fixing this?
Yeah, exactly. 105. Do first impressions last? I think they do for people that are judgmental. Like, sorry, not sorry. I have had bad first impressions with people, whether it's, you know, I made a bad impression on them or they made a bad impression on me. And you get to know them, and wow, you realize it was wrong. You were nervous. They were nervous. They were having a really bad day. Their mom died that day. You know, something happened. And I take first impressions with a grain of salt, because I don't think it's fair to judge someone on the first moment that you meet them. Because, you know, like I said, you could be nervous. You could be having a bad day. They could be having a bad day. And I don't think it's fair to hold that against someone. And I don't think it's like, you know, oh, you should be able to put that beside you and, you know, be nice when you get to know somebody the first time. That's not always easy to do. All right?
What?
Do first impressions last?
I mean, yeah, like, they don't always last. They shouldn't always last. It depends on the person, basically. I've known people who, you know, just latch on to first impressions. Like, nope, I didn't like you, I'm done. Or, you know.
Yeah, see, and that's what I don't like. Like, that's what I was trying to get at when I was talking about judgmental people, is like, they immediately meet you and they immediately dislike you and they hold that against you forever. And they're just like, you know, you don't know what's going on in my life. You don't know what I'm going through. I don't like it. I don't know. All of the first impressions that I can think of for me that are like memorable and stuck with me for a long time are the ones that make me laugh. You know, they make me happy. They're people I'm still friends with to this day. I don't remember first impressions with people that I'm no longer friends with. Like, I don't care. Okay. 106. Should someone be sorry for wanting to be perfect? That is a weird question. I think you should only be sorry for wanting to be perfect if you are hurting someone else. If by you trying to get everything right, you are making someone else's life more difficult, making their workplace more difficult, then you should be sorry. And you should take their feelings and their time into consideration. But like, I don't know. I think that's a stupid question. Let them weigh the importance of perfection versus the consequence of perfectionism. I really hate these questions. Don't ask these at an interview, you guys.
The concept isn't a bad idea. The way they ask it is.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, again, this comes back to like what I was talking about with some people that I've met, where it's just like, yep, when we have time to do that, that would be great, but we do not. Well, the deadline means that we can't do this right. Yes, I am very aware of that.
The deadline is more important than that.
But I did not choose it. I did not set it. We are here to solve it, and so we will do what we can.
Yeah.
So how do you prioritize when you're supposed to do 15 things and you can only do 10? Can you properly pick the 10 that need to be done?
Yeah, that are most important.
Or are you going to spend all your time on doing the first 3 perfectly rather than, I hate to say it, adequately, which, you know, sucks. But especially in coding, that happens all the time. And it shouldn't, because in good places it doesn't. Like there's, well... it still happens there, but not nearly as much. But there's entire practices on like, hey, we're going to do this right, and we're going to do it right the first time, because in 15 days, when we have to come back, or 2 years or whatever, and look at this, it'll pay dividends because we did it right.
Yeah.
Whereas at a place like my place, where nobody really gets that, it's just like, get it done yesterday. And so you bash out what you have to, you try to do as much as you can to make it acceptable, you get good at writing it fast, and you hope you don't have to come back to it, because if you do, you go, oh boy, okay, so what happened here? And that's learning how to deal with that has been... I've learned a lot of skills from it.
107. Do you believe that a star can die? What?
Yes.
What does this have to do with an interview? Obviously the answer is yes. Be it a star in the sky or like a superstar. What are you even asking me?
Maybe it's just to frustrate you.
I guess so. How do they think the world really works? Oh, are you trying to find out if they're like, you know, if they don't believe in global warming and if they don't believe in vaccinating their kids. Like, that's a trap, you guys. They're not allowed to ask you questions like that.
True.
Do you believe that a star could die? That is the stupidest freaking question I've ever heard. Are you trying to find out if they're depressed and they think that the sun is going to explode within the next 2 years? Not cool, man. Not cool.
Not only do I believe it, let me show you.
I can
I've been
prove
working
it.
on this thing.
108. Do you think our justice system is fair? And I live in the U.S., so I'm going to be discussing the U.S. justice system.
I would so never ask that during an interview.
Oh,
Don't
God,
go into
no.
Politics. Absolutely
Don't
not.
ever. Because, like, if they disagree with your politics, they will not hire you.
Well, not only,
And they will come up with reasons other than your answer to this question to not hire you.
To be clear, like, I think as the interviewer, you legally can't ask this question.
Well, I mean, some of these, it sounds like it's the interviewee as well.
Then,
like,
I think like they would
I would
immediately
not.
go, well, I can't discuss that.
Yeah,
in a work
like that's
environment."
inappropriate.
Like, that would be a bad one.
A heavy topic, but you'll know if they can talk well about it and engage in reasonable debate. What job are we hiring for right now? I don't know. I think it depends. So, sorry, not sorry, I am against the death penalty. I have read statistics, and the percentage of people that have been put to the death that were later found out to be innocent is too high for me. And by too high, I mean if 1 out of 1,000 people who were put to death was found not guilty, that's too many. I don't think it's okay that we have put innocent people to death. Like, and, oh, you know, we compensated their family and the world knows that they were innocent now. No, it doesn't matter. That person died knowing that the world thought they were guilty, and that just disgusts me. If I were in that position, if I were innocent and they were going to put me either in jail for the rest of my life or on the death penalty, I'd rather be in jail the rest of my life. Because you know what? Maybe in 20 years, we're going to find out, oh, wow, you know what? We found this evidence that you were innocent all along, Liz. Oops. And yeah, okay, maybe my life is never going to get back on track again, but at least I'll still be alive. So that aspect of the justice system, I don't find it fair. I think, if anything, maybe the person should be given the option, like, hey, would you rather be in jail for the rest of your life or death penalty? And then if they choose death penalty, that's on them. Hopefully that means they were guilty and not that they were suicidal because people ruined their lives and they were innocent. I don't know where I'm going with this. I hate these questions. Don't ask these at an interview. Whether you are being interviewed or you are interviewing someone, do not do it. Because I'm telling you, man, no. Just don't do it. What? I am asking stupid questions over Crescent Santa, which is just so cute. I really like this one. This is ridiculous. This is my life now, you guys.
It's because you made a gazillion videos, because you cross-stitched a lot of ornaments.
So many videos.
It could be like well into 2021, 2022, 2023.
I didn't make that many.
Yeah,
I have 43, and some of them have already posted, obviously. So we're getting there, you guys. One day, I'll be done with the ornaments. I promise. And that is the end of Moon Santa, or Crescent Moon Santa, or whatever I'm gonna call it. I don't know.
Super Crescent Santa Secret Attack. It sounds like a Naruto attack, okay? For the Christmas episode.
There were no Japanese words in there. You're wrong. It took me 3 hours and 59 minutes of footage. So, almost 4 hours. Whoop! I almost dropped it. Whoop, whoop, whoop!
Neat scroll.
I really like it. So, I don't know. I don't know what I did to my finger, but my skin is like really dry, and my pointer finger is all like beat up. Like it won't focus, but like it hurts. I mean, you can see on there that it's red in certain spots. And it was hurting before I was stitching, so it's not because I stabbed myself.
Get you a thimble.
No, I can't work with a thimble. I've tried. I can't do it. I didn't use one in first grade.
Have you tried that rubber thing?
No, but I sweat really badly, so I feel like I would just sweat it
I'm
right
just
off.
saying, I know a few people who've worked like post office and other heavy things are like,
Yeah, but the rubbery ones, like, the needle's still gonna go right through it.
maybe,
Definitely.
possibly,
Definitely.
maybe.
Like,
But
it
it'll
might
be
lessen it a little bit, but it'll still stab me.
Could be better than
It's
nothing.
not what happened. It was hurting me prior to this.
All right, you're turning into
And
a
I
lizard
haven't
people.
stitched in the
Fine.
last 3 days, so it's not that. I don't know what I did.
You're lizard people now.
I do love the TV show V.
Did you burn yourself?
No?
Okay, well I tried.
I don't think I did, at least.
You said you touched the. No, you told me it was hot. You didn't tell me you burned yourself. Never mind.
You're the one who burns yourself, honey.
I only did it once.
And how bad was it?
Not nearly as bad as it felt. I was really worried about that one, not gonna lie. But you can barely tell now that I've got probably permanent scarring.
He thought he wouldn't have fingerprints anymore.
No, I thought...
Yeah, you did.
I was joking about that. I did think I was gonna get, like, really bad blisters.
He was serious.
What was that? It wasn't even where my fingerprints are. It's down the side of my finger.
Sure, honey.
There!
No, I wasn't!
You were there afterwards.
Yeah, there you go. And all you did was beg for me to put ice in a Ziploc bag and then wrap it up in a washcloth for you, and then you held it for like all day.
Yes, all day. It would hurt for all day. Don't burn yourself is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, it's painful. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Okay, I don't have anything else to add. So, like, subscribe, share, comment, all that jazz. And I'll see you guys in the next video.